Welcome back to the Corey Bak'n Show. In today's episode, we're going to go over the 5x5 here on my right, the two 2x4s, and the two 4x4s, and the 2x4. Those there are almost ready to harvest, and then we got something really good to look at once we get over there. But we're going to start over here with these beasts of plants here. Now, it's been a little while since we videoed. I think it's been maybe a little more than a week since we've done a video. So look at how much they've grown in that short period of time. Now remember, this is the Mars Hydro Light, the FC8000 with the supplemental bars, the UV, the IR, and the deep red. And look at these girls. Yes, they have stretched. Oh yeah, let me identify what we got here. The back two are the Mighty Hose. And I believe they're Phenos 2 and 4. Don't quote me on that one. It's been a while since I got down there and looked at the tags. And the front two are the Simple Jacks. And I can see the tags here. That is Phenos 4 and Phenos 5, 4 and 5 are the Simple Jacks. But yeah, these are going into, I believe tomorrow starts week 5 of flower. But the stretch is pretty much, should have been over with, I thought anyway. But they're stretched to this point here. I have about another 3 to 4 inches. I can raise the light up to get off the top of the canopy here. I have the light set at 100% at this point. So it's getting blasted with light, and the plants are they're loving it. Look at the leaves. No deficiencies anywhere. But we do have quite a bit of leafage in here. Now, I do have to get in here and defoliate some of these here. I haven't touched it since the last defoliation. I was supposed to be periodically coming in and taking leaves off here and there, but I decided to just kind of leave them alone and let them go. And I definitely need to take some of these leaves out of here because the humidity is, without the door being open, the humidity is ridiculous. The temperature, it gets around like 79, but this morning when I opened up the tent, when I came and opened up the tent, the humidity had got all the way up to 79. For some reason in this corner, I cannot control the humidity up here. And it's probably because I got everything kind of boxed in. There's another tent right here on this side. But this tent over here don't go through nearly as much as this one when it comes to the humidity. But other than that, that's something pretty simple. I just don't want the humidity to get out of control. So I definitely got to get in here and defoliate these plants and get some of this leafage out of here. We're taking a bunch of this out of here. It would bring that humidity down also. But that's what these girls are looking like here in week 5. You can see the interval spacing here on this one here, this Simple Jack. It's going to be dynamite. That is going to be one big cola. Look how small the interval spacing is so tight and it's like that all the way down this cola right here, this stem. So that's going to be one huge cola. And if you look at around the other side, the other ones are just like that. The one in the back there, that Simple Jack back there in the corner, not Simple Jack, that's the Mighty Hoe. It seems further along than the other 3 plants that are in this tent. The bud set on it is a little thicker, and it's looking damn good. Frost level is really good. And the branches are really, really stiff and strong. So really, there's only one trellis net here, and really then you probably needed that. I didn't do any lollipopping at the bottom. Decided to leave it alone. Whatever we get down there, we'll turn into joints or just turn into edibles. Plus, I also want to do a tincture video here in the coming future. And that's something that I definitely want to do. I want to go outside and do it. Now that the weather has changed, I want to definitely get outside and get at a shot. But let's go over here to the next tent and take a look at those girls over there. Now over here in this tent here, these are all the Mighty Hose, Phenos 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is in the Autopot grow, pushed by the HLG. What is this? The Scorpion R spec. That's 700 watt light. That's what we got going on over here. These plants here are in week 8. Tomorrow, I believe, starts week 9 of flower. And I'm gonna let them go into the end of week 9. And I'm gonna harvest these plants here. Or possibly, correction. Wrong with this one. This 10 here, if they're ready to go, I will be taking those down at the end of next week. But the last time I ran these, I let them go 70 days. And that's what my intent was to do this run here. I wanna point out something here that is kind of strange, funny. I've never seen this happen before. If Miss Koi Bak'n will stay on that bud right there. If you look at that bud there, that bud compared to the other ones on the same plant are totally different. It is funny how, it's funny how that section there is nice and frosty, but the bud, and that's a top bud, never developed. If you look at the ones right to the right of it and right around it, look at how big these buds are. They're huge little, nice size golf ball size buds. But that stem, that whole stem, it just grew to that point and that's it. It's not gonna amount to anything, but I thought it was just kind of funny how that top bud didn't turn actually into a whole bud. Never seen it happen on a plant before. But yeah, if you remember, a few weeks ago we had a problem with these plants in here. We talked about it quite a few different times. The next one with the Autopot system, we're going to be putting the nets in the pots. We have those with the air stones and so on and so forth. Should help out getting oxygen to the root zone and help out with the development of these plants. These are doing great. If I take these to the 10 weeks, the whole 10 weeks, we should be right around that pound mark. But if we get a little less than that, I understand I did have a little hiccup in this run here. And hopefully I'll correct that with what I just talked about, changing that net. But we should definitely get a nice, good run of harvest out of these. All the buds in here are nice and dense. If you look in the very back there, these are starting to darken up with the color. So they're starting the senescence process, and that's coming to an end. Definitely got to change out this reservoir tomorrow to all just water, because right now this is the last week I'm giving it nukes. But when I clean this out tomorrow, fill it up with just straight water and let it go another week or two, maybe just a week, because the way they're looking right now, probably only going to go another week or need to. But next week we'll pull out the microscope and take a look at them and see what they look like. And if the trichomes are in that 20-30% ballpark, we're gonna go ahead and chop these down. So let's go take a look in the laundry room at how those girls look back there. All right, back here in the laundry room, the 2 tents, 2x4 over here. Let's start over here. This is the Mighty Ho Pheno number 6. Again, just like the other tent, she's in, this is the last day of week 8 of flower. The last time I ran this particular pheno, we only went 63 days, so that's 9 weeks. So we're gonna try to at least push her at least 1 more week. But again, just like the other tent, I'm gonna be flushing out that reservoir, this reservoir for this room here tomorrow also, and giving it just straight water for that last week. But as you can see, this Mighty Ho Pheno number 6 got nice, round, and bushy. If you can see, the buds are starting to darken up, get some color in them. Some spots on the leaves are getting kind of black. So the plants are definitely going through the senescence process. How dark that is, starting to look right up in there with the trichomes and the bud itself. But yes, very smelly, very dense buds. I haven't done a whole lot of touching of the bud, but the stems, the plant has a real, it's almost like a sweet, funky smell going on with it. But if you remember the last time I ran this, I ran it in this tent over here, back in the corner, and it did well, but it didn't do this well. So out of this plant here, I'm definitely looking in that 5 or 6 ounce ballpark out of this. But yeah, that's what the girls look like over here this week. Ain't a whole lot. It's a lot to talk about, but not a lot to talk about. Went through a few issues like you've seen in the leaves starting to die off, but this is natural. Supposed to start going through this process at this point because we're definitely at the end. So let's swing over and take a look at the 4x4 because she looks even better. And these 4 plants here, and these are all the simple jacks, phenos 2, 4, 5, and 6. Also, last day of week 8 of flower. Dynamite run. The last 2 runs of this watering system have definitely been on point. These plants are, look at them. Look how they look. They're just huge, huge buds. Now y'all gonna say, oh, you're touching your buds. But yes, nice, dense. That is huge. That's a nice size bud right there. Nice and smelly and sticky. The plant directly behind that one there, you look at the leaves, they're again senescing. Definitely dying off. Starting to grow new petioles. You see the fresh white hairs popping up off of there. It's because it's time for it to come down. I probably could have cut this down a day, but I'm definitely taking her for 1 more week. 63 days and definitely coming down. Again, that one there, that's the frostiest plant in the tent right there. Loving that way the Simple Jack came out this time. The last time I ran these same phenos in the other 4x4 in the Autopot system, it didn't do nowhere near this well. I knew once I got them back here in this tent here, they were gonna definitely blow up. So definitely impressed with this run. Loving how these girls are looking. I already smoked these already once, and y'all seen the smoke review. And definitely smoked real well when it was barely ran properly. This time here, I dialed it in completely, ran it from start to finish, just like it should have been ran. I also experimented in this run. As a matter of fact, in all 4 of these tents, I experimented with the coffee grounds, and definitely that's something I will definitely continue to do in the future. It definitely helps out with the plant. I see now also maybe this particular plant here, right up here in the front, a little green, a little dark green, but the ones right behind it aren't as green. So maybe it affected it, maybe it didn't. It's just the way this particular pheno grows. But the coffee grounds I know definitely help these plants. So that's something definitely. I'm glad. I forgot which subscriber it was who turned me on to that. Said, yeah, you can take them coffee grounds and use them in your mix them in your cocoa. And all I did was kind of top dress the plants, all the plants, with it. And I will definitely continue to do that in the future because I love how it's the extra nitrogen. It said, I know it has nitrogen in it, but it also says it has phosphorus and potassium in it also. So the extra boost damn sure help. But that's all we have for you on this week's episode. Next week, we'll definitely be harvesting something. So more than likely, it'll be these 2 tents here. That other 4x4, maybe not. I know the 5x5 is definitely not on the same flowering schedule with these, but 1 or 2 of these tents are definitely coming down next week. So y'all have that to look forward next week. And then the coming weeks after that, we'll do that weigh-in and get a smoke review on that too. But that's all we have in this week's episode. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, share, and subscribe. And until next week, stay baking.